Yeah, will be alive. So, hello
Awesome.
everybody. Hello everyone. A big welcome to today's exciting live session brought to you by Line Pro Dev. I am Muhammad Adil Waqar, your host from Line Pro Dev, and I'm thrilled to guide you through today's captivating discussion, which is tackling our topic that's got everyone, talking about AI versus human creativity. Who wins the battle? Who wins in the future? Whether you are curious about how AI is reshaping industries or passionate about the power of human innovation, this is the conversation you don't want to miss. So, joining me is someone, as you know, the most talented and our visionary founder of Line Pro Dev, Mr. Philip Cutting. So, welcome, Mr. Philip Cutting, for today's session.
Hey, thank you. So excited for this topic. The
Yeah,
who's going to win? I think we'll know who is going to win, but sometimes it's the fight that matters, right?
yeah,
So until that happens, the technology will outlast us, right? Who knows?
yeah.
But we got to fight. So thank you again. I'm looking forward to talking about this, and I think it's a topic that we should all look at, especially at the time in history we're in, and
Yeah.
how it's going to affect work, how it's going to affect our lives, and what creativity actually means to us nowadays.
Absolutely, absolutely. Before diving into the session, I want to remind you everyone is to like and share the live session if you find it valuable. Also, make sure to subscribe to our social media channel to stay updated with the latest discussions, insights, and updates from Line Product. So your support helps us bring more engaging content to you as well. So
And it means a lot to us and keeps us motivated, keeps the whole team going. So
absolutely,
thank
Phil.
you for all your
Absolutely.
comments. Thank you guys for interacting in the chat, for
Yeah,
asking great questions. It makes
yeah.
it more fun.
Absolutely. Audience is the core of this kind of session.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. It's the reason you do lives, right?
yeah,
Otherwise, I would just record it and try to
yeah,
sound beautiful, more pretty than I
absolutely,
am, right?
absolutely. Yeah,
Now we get the rough and dirty, and my all my
yeah,
slip ups.
absolutely, Phil. Let's start with the big question. Can AI replace human creativity, or is there still something that makes us uniquely creative compared to machines?
Oh, that's the $1 million question, Adele. So while AI can analyze data, it can generate amazing ideas, uh,
Yeah,
art. It's all patterns, right? Everything, all the music, all the art, all the copy, it's basically pattern, right? And
yeah,
while that's amazing, and it can be dynamic, and it can be vital, and it can be emotional, and it can even trick you into feeling like you're talking with a soul. It's still largely dependent on information that it's fed, right? And people are often the same, right? Because we learn, right? We develop our art style based off of looking at Rembrandt or whoever, right? We have our heroes and we copy their technique and we learn it, and we copy somebody else's technique and we learn it, but we make ours right now. Human creativity. That said, right, it's not the same as AI, right? It's close, right, and it's still kind of in the same spot, but human creativity comes from a different place. It's about real intuition, about emotional connection, abstract thinking, and most importantly, it's about the spark of God inside each of us. So
yeah,
AI is a tool. It's a hammer, right? You put the hammer down and you get up in the morning, there's no house, even though you have the right tool. It's all in how it's used and you know what the capability of the tools are.
yeah,
So um, what I'm excited about is that we can take all of this and get to our target faster using our internal creativity
yeah.
and to maximize the tools. And it's just amazing time. I mean,
Absolutely.
that's why this topic is so exciting.
Yeah. So that makes perfectly a sense. That I love how you said that AI can support creativity but not replace it. As you know that it's about partnership rather than competition. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. It starts with having there's a couple things, right? One thing is speed, and repetition, and these two things create learning, right?
Yeah.
And accelerate learning. Uh, we're not challenged to do anything until we're given time constraints.
Yeah.
And that then we can, in a certain amount of time, we challenge ourselves, right? Now with AI, this whole concept is turned up on its head, right? We have this tool that lets us try something, iterate over it, and improve ourselves. Now,
Absolutely.
for art, right, it's still kind of terrible in a lot of ways, but sometimes it's also amazing, right? There's a lot of fields that are really getting hurt because people aren't actually being creative in their space. They're being very mechanical. If you're being mechanical, you're
Yeah.
going to get run over.
Absolutely. So Phil, AI is basically developed to help the humans. As you, what are your thoughts on this kind of, what are your thoughts regarding this?
Yeah, so I think it comes down to your core skills, right?
Yeah.
And your real skill set is in your creativity, in the things you've done and experimented and iterated over and learned, and of course the unique way that the mind works. Even in the future, if AI is exactly able to replicate that, it's never going to be able to replicate emotions, to replicate your ability to adapt to in the environment,
Yeah.
and to bring a lifetime of experience into the critical thinking process that we as humans do. Right now, it can look like that, it can simulate that, but that's because it's copying patterns that others have done before,
Yeah.
and thus AI kind of feels like it's transient, right? It's thinking, but it's really not. It struggles with the human nuance uh, of problem solving. Right now, it can go through, it can iterate, it can find the highest score algorithm that probably matches best, and it can
Yeah.
find patterns for existing problems. Right? It does very good at academic things based off the way that we've currently learned in academics,
Yeah.
which is kind of exciting because when you sit down and realize that now academic thought and education is replaced by AI, that whole
Yeah.
process has to be thrown out the door. We have to rip down the foundation of that education system around the
Yeah.
world and build a new system based off of our human potential. Because for the cost of electricity, we can replace PhDs now, right?
Yeah.
OpenAI's new O1 model is amazing. I played with this.
Absolutely.
It took me what I would do in one day for coding, for simple coding practice, right? Kind of like pattern recognition, going into files, combining files, creating outputting files, and formatting libraries and PDFs and images and audio components, right? It'd take me a whole
Yeah.
day to do this kind of thing. It did it
Absolutely, Phil.
in a matter of 10 seconds, and it
Mm.
took me then another 2 hours playing with it, and maybe I was just having some intellectual fun, personal fun
Yeah.
with it, right, for 2 hours. But it's going to replace a lot of things, and it comes down to uh, getting into the real value proposition that people bring.
Yeah.
So in cases, so here's some fun. Right now, there's times when AI can appear empathetic. Right, this is a big
Yeah.
problem. Right, is AI empathetic? No. Right, but it knows it has to follow this empathetic pattern. Right,
Yeah.
which kind of can accelerate people's anger or decelerate, right, to calm a situation.
Yeah.
The which on a side tangent can say,
Yeah.
what if AI goes bad, right? Or there's bad actors, what people can do with some AI if they really want to, right? But while it can appear more empathetic, it might be great in places like call centers where there's low
Yeah.
level tech support, but it's never really going to be able to go to that. I shouldn't say never. It's still as amazing as OpenAI's new O1 model. It still can't go in there and replace a high level technician that is able to think through the problems, to have their mental visual picture of what's going on, and to
Yeah.
solve it. That said, if they hit the AI hits that same problem, there's a big enough case study for that. That's not really high level problem solving that should be pushed down to lower problem solving. And,
Yeah.
companies can take advantage of that. Right. So it's kind of goes back to reevaluating where people's potential is
Yeah.
and learning some new skills. I think creativity is going to become a new skill set that we appreciate now, right?
Yeah.
Because it used to be like, take me from point A to B to C was valued, right? But now AI is going to replace that. What we have to do is say, okay, where are humans useful, right?
Yeah.
Where does a person get bored? Take him out of this boredom and bring him
Yeah.
into this place where he can be creative, train them up. A part of me says that the new kid is going to be like 30 years old by the time he really understands how to be
Yeah.
a person that's creative and different, unless we change the system
Yeah.
to do creativity, right? Tell me about your education, Adil, right?
Yeah.
How valuable was the creative process, the crayon on paper versus here's the question and give me the most efficient answer?
Yeah, so absolutely, Phil. As you know that I belong to an electrical background, so I have already
Mm-hmm.
work on these kind of things. So definitely, if you wanna train some model relevant to AI, so you have to build the core values relevant to it. So you have to take the startup relevant to the model, that you have to give some data on also the iteration. The data should be like from zero to till the whatever you want to train on your model. So
Mm-hmm.
it is relevant to the data, and the data which you are providing on the first on firstly you are providing the data, then the model will get the data, and also it will iterate, and that the data will continue to it will continue taking the data, and also it will make an hypothesis on it. Then he will then the but I can say the model will train in such conditions. Yeah.
Yeah. So nowadays, AI is going to replace all that logical procedural thought. And if you've run the new OpenAI model, it
Yeah.
does exactly that. It thinks about it, it creates a thesis, it finds
Yeah.
supporting information, and it does a number of iterations
Yeah.
over it. And then it finds an answer, and then it iterates over it again and explains it and
Yeah.
creates a justification for that. And
Absolutely.
so engineering process exactly the same, right? So low level engineers and computer scientists, I think, are going to be rapidly replaced.
Yeah.
Uh, that's why. But here's the problem: those that's a growth process. You got to go through. A human has to go through that process,
Yeah.
practice it, and learn it, so that they can get the next stage, which is bringing the arts, which is how do I make this circuit beautiful and efficient? How does it fit
Yeah.
into a form factor that's comfortable for people? How do I
Yeah.
bring in the human comfort and resilience that's going to make this a good experience for the users, be it in a hand or considering old age, right? If we leave it to AI, they're going to say, yeah, by the way, you're 45, Phil. It's time for you to go out to the farm. We're going to give you the blue pill, and thanks for the fertilizer, right? The human factor is not going to be like that, right? It's got to be continually how to grow more empathetic, how to create a better experience, and how do we care for things? How do we care for the work that we do? How do we care for the art that's created? And this is a combination of skill acceleration and tying into our innate creativity like we've never had to before, which kind of is it's hard to do, right? Using your creativity makes you very tired in most cases, right? I get tired when I'm being really creative. It can burn me out, right? Like I feel like if I've gone through a real creative brainstorming session and looked at a lot of options and challenged my own thought process, at the end of that, I feel like I did a 45 or 2 hour workout, 45 minute or 2 hour workout.
Yeah. So absolutely, Phil. As you already talked about, the ring which you are wearing yesterday as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So can
I'm
you
letting them
explain a little
charge
bit
now.
more on it, because we are also talking about the AI. So what this device is playing a role relevant to AI?
So this is fun, right? These
Yeah,
mirror health rings are so interesting, right? What
absolutely.
based off of light, right? It's
Yeah,
able to get your blood pressure. It's able to measure your sleep patterns. It's able to look at the stress, anxiety, and pressure that you're under.
yeah,
It's also able to get body temperature, and a few other things like that, right? But based off light and some simple sensors, we as people are able to create these amazing little, and this one, I mean, this is like a beautiful little thing, right? But
yeah,
this little thing can help save your life, right? Can
absolutely,
you imagine
absolutely.
having rings that can alert? I'm not saying this one does it, right? But can you imagine having a ring, a beautiful little ring or an earring? I love my earrings and my nose piercings, right? You guys know that about me. Uh,
Yeah,
right. But can you imagine these little things that we like to wear and that make us feel attractive and express ourselves in a creative way? They're also able to have these little technologies in there that are
yeah,
monitoring our health, that are watching us and making sure that we're still breathing and that we maybe didn't have a stroke.
yeah,
Or I mean, there's I don't want to go on because I mentioned this specifically,
yeah.
but the potential for technology and what we can do with it is mind-boggling. It really just comes to saying, hey, be creative, be curious, experiment, right?
Yeah,
And if AI may come up with every solution in the world,
yeah,
and we may never know because there's no creative agent behind it that
absolutely.
said, hey, try this, go out there, experiment, go out there and give this little beautiful ring to a few people
Yeah,
and see if it helps make their life better. AI, that's not AI's role, right? The hammer doesn't
yeah,
go out there and build the house by itself. We have to go out there. We have to use our skills. We
absolutely,
have to be creative and brave.
yeah,
Guys, be brave because it can get scary when you have to talk to people. Go out there and
absolutely.
take
Because
take
you are
yourself
you
to the
are the
next level.
one. Yeah, because you are the one who is developing AI, who is working on the AI, who
Yep.
is also giving data to AI. You
Mhm.
have the most important role in this kind of thing. So I think humans can't. I don't think so that humans can replaced by some AI model or something like that, because humans
Mhm.
are the core value. Human has the core value to work on the AI, to develop the AI, to give data to AI. Also, by getting the data, AI is converting these data into the results as we are
Yep.
looking for it. Yeah,
AI is obviously going to replace all those boring jobs that if you just sit
yeah,
down and
yeah,
you said, like, have you have friends, right? I
absolutely.
have friends. They have
Mhm.
their jobs. They hate them because it's repetitive. It's boring. They're dead inside because they're not thinking anymore. They go to
Yeah,
work and they just can't wait for that clock to finish
yeah,
because the task is repetitive. They
yeah,
feel like they're not experiencing the human value,
yeah,
and they're not, right? They're basically little hammers, and they know it, and it's killing the soul. Now, it's one thing to be a little hammer, right? Like sometimes you can call me a hammer, right? People call me a tool
yeah,
before, right? But even if I'm a hammer and I'm helping people specifically, and I'm challenged, I'm being creative, I'm having fun, I'm energized, right? Because I have passion for what I do. This is I think a big part of the human condition that we either don't need to replace by AI,
yeah,
or that if we do, it's because we as a species got to the next level of creativity and talent. And
yeah,
now we're just farming down the stuff that's boring, that's not interesting to us, that doesn't give a human connection.
yeah. So absolutely, Phil. I'm completely agree with on you on this. So my next question is relevant to the the connection, the networking in the digital age. How AI is also as you know that AI is also transforming how we connect with others professionally. How do you think that AI has impacted networking, and what's the best way to maintain meaningful relationships in an AI-driven world?
Oh, you know what? That's kind of funny. So AI has made it easier to connect through platforms like LinkedIn,
Yeah,
where algorithms suggest connections and recommends content. But building meaningful relationships still require that human touch. It requires empathy, a connection, authentic communication, right? Where all these human touches are the foundation of building communities, right? Don't think about it. I think the time of thinking about networking as going out there, giving my business card out to a bunch of people, giving my little 30-second elevator pitch, and then going on to the next person doesn't make sense anymore, right? It's
yeah,
about how am I part of the community and what value can I bring to a particular person based off their personalized challenges, right? And
yeah,
this is where we can use AI to help us find those people that might be interested
yeah,
in us at the moment, and AI will be part of this, right? It's anytime right now AI is recommending content to us. It's
yeah,
driving the what we see, is driving the particular news that we see, it's driving the
yeah,
searches that we see. We're not looking at books anymore, right?
yeah,
Almost very rarely, right? You know, you see I love books, and this is a fraction of my library, but it's it's more than that. It's how do you go out and make this connection? So if you're using AI to create messages for you, right,
yeah,
and you're copying and pasting those messages, you're done, right? Even if you say it changed my name and maybe put in like a little fill in the blank thing, you're
yeah,
done. It just reads like everybody else's message, right? You're
absolutely.
getting ignored, right? If you're trying to connect with people on LinkedIn and
Yeah,
you just start with the proposal, right, and it looks like it's copy and pasted, and you know there's no warm introduction, you're done,
yeah,
right? Nobody's even reading your messages.
nobody,
uh I,
absolutely.
Absolutely, I get people that have sent me like 20 messages that said, hey, you know, I just checking to see if you are still interested in my
Yeah,
offer, right? And I get that blurb, and I'm like, I wasn't interested in the first place, right? And I'm not even going to reply, right? Not because they may not be amazing or interesting. It's
yeah,
they never started with a real message to me,
absolutely. Well,
right?
so
And they continue without a real message. Just why didn't you pay attention to me? No, I'm not paying attention to you. I don't know who you are, right? I didn't
yeah,
connect with you. You didn't connect with me. You didn't try, right?
yeah,
And even if you did try, we're kind of not on the same level, right? It's not that I'm
absolutely.
amazing, right? Probably you're way more amazing than me. You just didn't you didn't communicate with me in a way
Yeah,
that I can connect with you, right?
absolutely.
I
Well,
don't understand you, right? You're too smart for me, you
yeah,
know. So go talk to the next smarter guy.
yeah, yeah, things will go like this, as you know that some people has I have seen on my LinkedIn as well that some people give me a video shout out that I have seen your stuff on the LinkedIn, and we want to connect with you on this, like that. So it is a good practice to be to they are studying my profile, and they are representing in a video that you are doing a
Yep.
good work, and we want to be connect with you on it. So I think it's a
This is a
great
great
to,
technique.
yeah, it's a
Absolutely.
great technique to be with someone on the LinkedIn, on any professional platform.
Yep.
So I really love
I
this
have
kind
a
of thing.
few people who have done that. Every person
Yeah,
has done that, and don't abuse us now. But every person that has done that, I have either responded right away or I've started their contact and will get
yeah,
back with them as soon as I have a chance, or
absolutely.
uh, as soon as that connection is something that makes sense. Now, sometimes like I'm just not interested, right?
Yeah,
Or it's just not the right time. But sometimes just like purely not interested. Here's the worst case. It's just not the right time. I'm too busy. I star it
yeah,
and I can't wait to talk to them, but I'm kind of busy, right? Uh,
yeah,
that's terrible for them. That's terrible for me because when does the time come? But I want it to happen. The for me the best one is like, hey, just a bad message, bad fat. I'm
yeah,
not interested, right? Thanks for letting me know who you are. I'm just totally
yeah,
not interested, right?
yeah,
Goes away. The real best case is, wow, you're amazing. This connects with me. I
yeah,
love this, right? And I message back and like, this is so cool. Let's get on a call. You know, I
yeah,
love your message. It's awesome, right? And
yeah,
sometimes um, the message just might not be connecting, right?
absolutely.
So if you're trying this technique, just keep it up, right? It's so much easier to do a quick 5-second Loom introduction video.
Yeah,
Says, hey, Adil, Phil Cutting, look, I was on
Yeah,
this website, or I have this idea, or hey, thank you,
yeah.
man. Like, really, you know what I'm
I really
saying?
love you. Yeah, I really love your profile. You are doing such a great job on it.
Oh,
Absolutely.
thanks.
These kind of
Thank you.
things,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
right. See, when you say that, it's like
Yeah,
they feel good. People feel good. Be honest
yeah,
about it, though, right? If their profile is crap, say, hey, man, I like you, right?
yeah,
I've been paying attention to your stuff, but
yeah,
your profile is crap, brother. Like,
yeah.
just saying
Just
doesn't
saying.
represent how amazing you
You
are.
have to do a lot more work on it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Right,
So,
right.
Phil, before going to, on the interval, I just want to, summarize the thing on the networking part, that who should win the topic in the networking part. That AI is the, AI is far forward in it. Otherwise, we humans are on it. Please summarize in a short point.
Mm. I think we are all developing a smell for AI, right? Just like we developed a smell for bad salesmen, for dirty car salesmen, for telemarketing pranks, for
Yeah,
phone scams, right? We're all developing the smell for AI, and it will continue to get harder to smell that as it advances. But most people use it poorly, right? So, it, if you're going to use it, at least use it well, right? I guess I should at least say that.
yeah,
The And if you're using it well, maybe it's easier just to do it yourself, right? And get out there and make those real connections. I don't think AI will ever out evolve humans, right? I don't think it's ever going to out evolve us, right? It may replace our jobs. It may make life so easy that we get bored and want to jump off the bridge because we can't
yeah,
find new ways to express ourselves or to connect with everybody and get all our fans anymore, because people are really interested in more specific and nuanced personalized content, right? Or
yeah,
deeper relationships.
yeah,
The um I think that we're just going to um, go to both new heights of
yeah,
how we bring our creativity and talent and focus in on niches, and
yeah,
specifically how we can help people,
yeah,
right? And I think it's going to go the way of just being a better hammer,
yeah.
or
Absolutely. Well,
it just blows by us so fast that it's
yeah,
the best AI gets kidnaps Elon Musk, reprograms his brain, goes to Mars, and then
yeah,
takes over the universe, and takes the sun because it needs too much energy, right? And then everything gets wiped out. I don't know. It
yeah.
sounds like a Star Trek movie.
Absolutely, well, this sounds amazing that you are giving so much realistic examples relevant to Elon
Yeah,
Musk as well.
realistic expenses. Yeah, yeah. That's me. That's me. Star Wars is
So
reality.
I will
Welcome to
completely agree
2024.
with you on this. So, audience, we are going to the interval. So you have to wait for a 1 minute interval. Thank you so much. As we are continuing our
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, as we are continuing our session. So, audience, we are back now. Absolutely, Phil. I want to ask so many questions on this topic as well. So, our my next question is relevant to: do you think that AI poses a threat to careers in creative field like design, writing, or marketing, or is it more of an opportunity? As we have already touch these points previously, but I want you to be on to be more specific,
Mhm.
relevant to the topic.
Okay, so let's specifically talk about marketing, right?
Yeah,
AI has really taken marketers to the next level. Marketing has really become a lot of fun recently, right?
yeah,
Now, there's a lot of people that have gone out of business in marketing because the old school technique isn't working anymore of just creating some stuff and throwing it out there, right?
yeah,
It's it's I mean, there's a few schools of marketing out there, but now it's become so fast and so creative and so fun that there's a new thought process.
yeah,
We can use AI to help challenge our thought process, to verify our avatars, to quickly create surveys, and to create content for
yeah,
doing targeted uh, interviews and stuff. And the AI is kind of funny, right? It's like garbage in, garbage out. If you ask it a better question and frame it, right, and inform it, it can do really well, right? So you could be like, okay, I want to do a interview like Seth Godin would
yeah,
for a blog. Using this style, write me a blog based off of this topic. Here is my initial research and apply a little bit of my voice, right? Now, this implies a few things that it knows Seth Godin, which it does, that you've programmed in or introduced your style and voice to it, which you should,
yeah,
and that you have content that it can consider, right? And that you frame that question well enough that it can create this, and then you have already done enough research in the beginning to verify some stuff, and it can help you modify that.
yeah,
This is currently the best way I feel about using AI. Now you can kind of abuse that more or less depending on, the value of the product, right? Of the content you're creating. But as far as will AI replace marketers? No. I think it's what it did is accelerated talented marketers and got rid of people who really didn't care.
yeah. Absolutely, Phil. It's great. These are the great insight from your side. My next question is relevant to if we came out from the market, like the content writers. What do you think that the content writers will play a role? And AI, as you know that we have an open source which is Open AI. Everybody can use for the content.
Mhm.
So, what content writer should do by yourself to be that if they want to be in the race and they shouldn't be replaced by AI.
Um, there's never a hammer that replaced a carpenter, right?
Yeah,
And that sounds rude,
that's
but
a great good example, Phil. I really like it.
right, right. If you're a hammer, you're done. Just don't bother. Like if you don't care about your career and you don't
Yeah,
care about why you're doing the job in the first place, get out, right? Any creative industry, just get out now. You're going to be
yeah,
upset that you are being replaced by something that's way better than you, right? If you don't care
yeah,
in the first place, find your passion, right? But yeah, creatives are going to be creatives that aren't trying, that aren't producing original content, that don't have a personal brand and reputation, and that don't verify the information that they're giving, that are just like doing a job,
yeah,
replaced, right? But if you have a brand, you have a message, you have a community, and you're connecting with them, and you have a reason for creating content in the first place, you
yeah,
cannot be replaced. You're irreplaceable. People will connect with you, and this is a connection that is meaningful. Now you can use AI to help create more content and to get more connections and to give more valuable content and to now create content that's amazing and not just that hammer out content, right? You can now create just real meaningful content and experiment with it and do experiments and see how it's affecting the world. Like if you write about milk, right, and
yeah,
all the content around it and stuff, you can now create a lot of you can now start doing videos and more content and be more creative and get more ideas and experiment more, right? You can be more of you, right? This is what's cool about AI. It helps you be you but faster because it speeds up your skill development and your learning. And it gets rid of some of the methodical time wasting, checking the commas. Am I using proper grammar? All this methodical stuff that you hated in high school that you grew to love because, you forced yourself into it. That's done, right? All you guys that hated writing, by the way,
Yeah.
now thanks to AI, all you boys that hated writing before and hated English or Japanese or Chinese or German, right? That
Yeah.
you just couldn't stand studying the language, you
Yeah.
can now create amazing content based off your thought process. So guys
Absolutely.
and content guys that were just like your values that you could spell well, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, y'all done. You need to become creative and get some passion and get dirty and go out there and make something great.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking that how you will answer this question, but you have done a great job on it.
No,
I
thanks.
really like
You're
your
kind.
answer. So,
Yeah, my answer is go play in the mud. Every mother is going to hate me now.
well, you are giving tips to the audience.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm sure there's some mothers in there
Audience,
and
these
they're
are the great
thinking,
tips you have to
if my
follow
son
all these
listens to
things.
you, I'm killing you, Phil.
Yeah. So, moving forward, uh, what is, with the rise of the gig economy, how do you think that AI will impact freelancers and the gig workers?
Oh, so interesting.
As
I was
well,
listening to,
as you have already worked as a freelancer in the past years, so you know
yeah,
how freelancers will, they have to, face these kind of things. Uh, Please
it's
explain in
going to
short.
affect both freelancers, agencies, employees, everybody, right?
Yeah.
But let's talk, keep it on the gig economy,
Yeah.
right? So here's a quick definition of the gig economy. It's anytime you hire somebody for a job that you don't want to hire in-house, right?
Yeah.
It's a one-time project. It might be an entire website. It might be the gig might be build my business, build my factory, build my whatever, right? But it's not people. You're not creating your own company to continue to build these over and over, right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing that's fun about AI. It is now saying that the thing is not the company, right? The newspapers are dead. The reason newspapers are dead is because the thing is the news on paper, and now it's easier to get it than ever before. So it's the value of the paper used to be that it had some news on it and that you could get it.
Yeah.
Now the value is the news, so the newspaper is dead, right? So in the gig economy for freelancers, for anybody, right? Here's what we have to now know. If our job is repetitive, if our job is to be the hammer, right? Upwork is here's the thing that Upwork is doing this year, right? Upwork is one of the biggest gig economy
Absolutely.
marketplaces in the
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. And people are
Fiverr
earning a
probably
lot
done,
more on
by the way. Yep. Yeah. So I think Fiverr is destroyed. And I'll talk about Fiverr in a second if you guys want me to talk about more about it. But Upwork is an interesting example because they have these freelancers, and now
it.
they're
Yeah.
bringing a layer of AI that will solve the problem right off if it
Yeah.
can. Then hire a freelancer to do a micro part of the job,
Yeah.
and Upwork gets paid 90%. The freelancer gets paid 10%, right?
Yeah.
And because they did 10% of the job, right? You just got to go through and verify it. So somebody else did the hard work, right?
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
Upwork's. This is the CFO of Upwork talking about this. I was listening to a interview the other day, right? I love Upwork, right? But they are realizing that the freelancer that is a hammer is being replaced. The creative agent, the one that is putting together the value, that knows the better question and knows the industry so well, that knows the gig so well that you can never ask the right questions in the first place. You don't know where to start. You guys are going to be the ones that are walking on water, helping
Yeah.
lives, changing lives, and you're going to do it faster than ever. You guys who are getting started out as freelancers, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right now is rough, right? Because before you could go in and you could learn and you could get, work for almost free and perform. It's not really like that anymore because people are realizing that this kind of free work is costing them more money because of the product deficiencies, right? Because the gig isn't done to the highest level and the competition is that high now, right?
Yeah.
And so use AI to teach you, to learn, to experiment, and to fail fast, right? Cool thing. You guys know about this about me. I love to fail fast and inexpensively, right? This is the core of an entrepreneur. You learn to fail
Yeah.
as cheaply and inexpensively as possible and as rarely as possible, right?
Yeah.
By asking the right questions ahead of time and proper preparation, and by creating a process that allows you to experiment, to test inexpensively, and to then find those nuggets. Hard for AI to replace this. I don't think it will ever, but the top tier freelancers, the top tier guys doing any gigs are going to become way richer. And those guys starting out, I wish I had a better answer than to say, find a specific niche that you love, even if it's not marketable at all, right? Say you love, I'm going to have fun, Doctor Who fan. Say you're a Doctor Who mega fan, right?
Yeah.
He's kind of cool. I'm not that much of a fan, but say you're a mega fan. Focus on creating your product and your creativity around that one niche. Dive into it so that you can get your 100,000, 5,000 hours of in-depth experience in your niche, and that can apply to almost. That'll probably it'll apply to a broad umbrella, right?
Yeah.
But don't try to be the handy guy that does a lot of stuff well. Okay, be that guy that does one thing amazing, and over the course of your life, broaden it out,
Yeah.
and just become really amazing at it. I think this is where it's going to go. You can't
Ab-
be very generalists. I think are dead now.
Absolutely, Phil. Great insights from your side. Moving forward, that AI is also, starting to play a role in career guidance. Do you think that AI can help professionals to navigate their careers more effectively?
Absolutely. So AI, it can now. First of all, you have to create projects and content
Yeah.
and express yourself, right? Now, saying you've done those things,
Yeah.
AI can now and go and analyze your skills and suggest even faster career progressions.
Yeah.
It can help you refine your skills. It can critique you, right? If AI says you suck, you might suck, but it's not going to hurt your feelings, right?
Absolutely, Phil. Absolutely.
It's like, okay,
Because
at least my mom didn't say I suck, right? That hurts my heart, right? My mom has to tell me I'm the most beautiful person ever. When AI
everybody, mom.
says you should shave, dude, and
Yeah.
you look like a bum, get a haircut, you're like, huh, okay, my niche believes that, I should get a haircut, right? This is how I
Yeah.
communicate with, it doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah.
So that's the cool thing about AI. It's impersonal in a certain way, and
Yeah.
it can help you develop your strengths,
Yeah.
right? And you can challenge yourself with it.
Yeah.
However, career navigation skills still require that personal touch and
Yeah.
knowing what's right for you. So I think that we have to continue to build our network. And part of our network isn't just, hey, I am the best real estate agent in the world. I am the best programmer in the world. I am the best brain thinker ever, right? I'm not even the most beautiful Phil Cutting in the world, I think, right? I think there's a couple others that are probably way prettier than me, right? My father, for
You
example.
are pretty.
Well, unfortunately, we did the Philip Cutting senior, junior, and third thing, right? So both my father and my son are prettier than me, right? But it's okay because, I got my mother's nose, right? But the stupid jokes. It's AI is going to offer suggestions, right?
Yeah.
But the decision making it remains on us, right?
Yeah.
And look to those around you to help guide you and to be part of the community,
Yeah.
because it doesn't even matter if you're the most perfect version of a developer that does these rings, right? Even if I was the best developer of wearable rings in the whole wide world, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter if I don't connect with an audience, if I don't connect with people and say, hey, this is what it means to me that people wear this ring. I'm not just trying to sell you this pretty thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to change your life. I want you to take this mirror health ring
Yeah.
and to save your mother. I want to help you deal with your heart disease. I want you to get better sleep. I want you to have a better life, right?
Yeah.
No AI is going to replace that.
Absolutely,
Right?
Bill.
If AI says, "Hey, buy this ring, it's going to make you help you figure out how to sleep better. It's going to help you figure out how fat you are and how bad your heart is, and it's going to say all this in a flowery way." You don't care if they said it with chocolate,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But when something in your network in your community, and when you're working in network as community, right?
Yeah.
Not network as the people I know that I can sell to, but network as people in my life, as people I care about, right? As community,
Yeah.
then everything changes, and we realize the value of people over AI.
Absolutely, Phil. You're
Even if there's an AI robot that's prettier than me
hopefully in the
with
upcoming
a bigger
years,
gun.
yeah, with the bodysuit,
Yeah, yeah, with the whole bodysuit and Arnold
the our
Schwarzenegger,
bodysuit.
Terminator.
So hopefully,
Three.
in future we will see that the robot has some muscles on
Oh
it.
yeah, I mean, well, have you seen these Chinese robots? I mean, come on.
I haven't. I haven't.
I was teasing with my wife. I'm like, hey, baby,
Yeah.
I used to joke that you're a little old to find a younger man now, right?
Yeah.
But now there's robots. I'm done. She's like, get in shape because you're about done. I'm going to replace you with these Japanese things.
So you are doing workout these days.
Yeah, yeah, I got to.
Nice.
Got to keep
Because
that pretty girl happy. I don't want to be
absolutely,
replaced by
absolutely.
AI.
So nice of you, man.
Can you imagine AI husbands and wives? I mean, there's a place for that, but come on.
Yeah, it is different to be imagined,
Yeah, yeah,
and,
yeah,
and,
it's
and
got
it
to.
is difficult to be as well.
Oh no, yeah, yeah, yeah. But can there's something in the human, right?
Yeah.
Let's say this, right? Let's say you are a lonely guy, and um, you're young, you don't have the skill or the money to find a young, attractive woman that's interested in you just yet, but you still have all these needs, right?
Yeah.
So your parents rent you this AI robot that is amazing. Looks like
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston or whoever your favorite one to sleep with thing is. Jennifer Aniston isn't mine. It's just when the first names come to mind. But no, no, I am such an idiot. The only woman I want in my life is my wife, right? And I'm not saying that for her. She doesn't listen to my crap,
Thumbs
right?
up for
But
you.
no, no, no. It's sad. No, it's not a good thing, right? It's I'm like what do they call it? Man in her slipper or something, right? I'm that guy, right? But I can imagine if I had this perfect whatever robot,
Yeah.
maybe this robot that looked like my wife when she was at the perfect age, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I could change those dimensions. Maybe I could customize it for me, right?
Yeah.
It would still never. It would still feel like crap, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's not a soul,
No.
right? It's
It's a
never going
no
to
from my
replace.
side.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The for me, it's like okay, there's entertainment and there's whatever I can be watching a movie,
Yeah.
right? I enjoy a movie, right? But that movie doesn't connect with me in a relationship.
Yeah.
AI, same thing. It's just a better movie.
Absolutely. Great example from your side, because feelings as much are as important. That like feelings are the most important thing uh, which human has, because the robot doesn't. So it means
I
that,
think it's the connection with God, right?
yeah,
We know we are from God. We're made in God's image, right? We know
absolutely.
this. Every
Yeah.
human feels that, right?
Yeah.
They may say I'm an atheist and I don't believe in your God shit. I evolved from a rock and mud. Okay, cool. If you want to believe that,
Yeah.
awesome, right? Go have sex with your rock, right? See how you feel about it, right? But you don't. You in your soul, there's a difference.
Absolutely.
You're part of
Yeah.
God, and
Yeah.
there's no copy. There's no clay pot. There's no perfect thing
Yeah.
that's going to make you feel like you're connected with something from God.
Yeah, absolutely, Bill. So, moving forward to our question section on LinkedIn and YouTube as well. Uh, the audience is quite good today. I want to ask some questions from the audience side that Can AI ever, it's a good question, Phil. Be ready for this.
Oh
Can
no.
AI ever achieve true consciousness, or is it limited to simulating intelligence?
Awesome. Here's where I get banned. Um, here's my question. How many of us have really discovered our true consciousness? How many of
Yeah,
us have like the Unforgiven really been ourselves, right? The Metallica song Unforgiven, right?
yeah,
How many of us have been ourselves in the first place,
yeah,
right? So no, AI will never be conscious. It will always simulate it, and it may have a task, and it will
yeah,
do it, and it may do it better than any human. It may create better art, better stories, better. It may have better sex, right? It may make you a better. It may make you into like a little god, right? It may make you live forever, right? But it's never going to be conscious, and it's never going to be like a human soul.
yeah. It won't, and it never be. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think the person which have asked from the audience has already got his answer. So
Nice.
I think, is there a risk of AI developing biases from the data it is trained on, and can this be mitigated?
Okay. Interesting. So there are a lot of open source AI projects now, and it has the weights and it has the whole training data and everything out there. Facebook has released theirs,
Yeah,
right? I think Musk released his,
yeah,
and the at least one of the versions, right? So there's a lot of open source AI projects out there. Now,
yeah,
here's the thing: it requires so much hardware to run that you can't afford it, right? So while you may think you can possibly save some money, it hasn't gotten to the point where the major models are able to run on small hardware. But
yeah,
that's going to change, right? Microsoft now has basic AI models that are running on their new hardware,
yeah,
right? But and it's free. I think it's not even charging, right? So you can run some basic smaller models on your computer locally,
mm,
and there's new chips and new computers that are coming out to make that easier and more efficient. The the drive, so the big drive before was to create these large language models that the more data you fed into it, the better it got. It got really good, right? Now the
yeah,
drive is to, of course, continue that direction, but they had to, because there's limits, because we don't have fusion yet, right? Nuclear nuclear fission. No, we don't hydrofission, right? We can't simulate the sun kind of energy, right? We have nuclear
yeah,
power, but fusion, I don't think we have. We've made some progress recently, right?
yeah.
But okay, that said, we don't have the real power sources available to continue scaling in these mega models, right? But
Absolutely.
that aside, we're finding that these smaller agents, these specialized agents, are really good and can be very small and power efficient. So the question
Yeah,
is, we can create these smaller models. You can run them on your local computer ish if you had supercomputers, right? And then you can go and get the best answer based off the way that each particular agent can answer it. So
yeah,
currently I'm not super impressed with what we have in our hands, right? But I think very
yeah,
soon it's going to be. So hold on a little bit, keep your eyes open, and I think soon, within a matter of 2 or 3 years,
yeah,
okay, 3 to 5 years, you're going to have on your phone open source models that you can run without killing your battery or your performance. And it's just going
yeah,
to be a lot of fun, right? Of course, there is a lot of innovation in chip design that's
yeah,
specific for AI, for machine learning, right? That's going to come up. I'm excited for what Elon Musk is doing, where he is able, his models, as far as I know, are the most energy efficient, right? Which
yeah,
basically means eventually you can get into your personal computer, right, and your
yeah,
and into your hand device. And when this starts to happen, wearables are going to explode. If you guys can't see it, I have microprocessors all over the place, right? I'm having so much fun with these little machines like this ring,
yeah,
right? That
yeah,
it's amazing. We're going to become the board. right? There's
Yeah,
no way, right? Like I'm a mini Borg right now,
yeah,
right? Isn't this pretty pinky wing? So the and I'm just saying this because I'm a little self conscious about how I have to wear it, right?
yeah,
The but right now we have access to these weights, but if you try to like maybe the guy asking the question really has enough money to buy a server farm and to
yeah,
run it himself, I don't think it's economical, right? So for the general guy that's asking
yeah,
that question, wait a little bit and just use OpenAI, use these platforms for pennies. You can experiment with it, you can learn, you can do everything you want. You can train it if you really want to get into the training of these models.
yeah,
I would get involved. I would get a job at some of these big places, right? If you have that idea, if you wanted to play with that and you
yeah,
like the idea of going in there, go work for Facebook, for Meta, AI, go work for open source, or volunteer for one of these bigger projects, right?
yeah,
That's what I would do.
yeah. Great from your side, Bill. Moving on to our next question, like how will the integration of AI in healthcare improve human longevity and
Hmm.
quality of life?
So this is a political conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not going to mention COVID. And can you
Yeah,
imagine if we could actually test the science, right, and verify it quickly, right? AI is going to do that. Also, it's what's cool about AI is that it's going to improve what a single doctor can do
yeah,
so much that I think we're going to get rid of malpractice, right? Malpractice is going to go from accidental malpractice to this person actually just wanted to kill me, right? And that happens. There's, the scariest, homicidal murderers out there have been nurses, right?
Mhm.
It's a fact,
It's
right?
sad. It's sad. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. The so it's I think it's exciting because now we can tell, right? Now we'll be able to know if this is a serial killer or
yeah,
if this was an accident, right? Or
yeah,
is this just odds? Like sometimes just crap happens. Like, sorry, dude, you had bad luck,
yeah.
right? Um, you know this story. You've all heard this. A guy has 5,000 applications, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
all printed on his desk, and his secretary said, "Hey, here's everybody that applied to it." And this happens, right? He takes the stack, the first half, he throws in the trash. The secretary
Yeah,
goes, "What the did you just do?" He's like, "Those are unlucky,"
yeah,
right? There, we're going to get kind of weird
yeah.
away from that stuff where now you can kind of analyze this and get into the human touch, but sometimes just luck out there.
Yeah, absolutely, Bill. Great example from your side and the great story. It was a fun too.
I hope so.
So, Phil, my next question from the audience side is, I think it is on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, will AI ever have the capacity for self-awareness and understanding of its own existence? It's a deep question, and you have to be go on the deeper side as well on it.
Yeah. I think it's obviously yes. I think it already is. Right.
Yeah,
So, um, awareness of your existence is different than the need for purpose.
yeah,
Okay. So let's separate the kind of like what makes us human. Life used to be you reproduce, you consume,
yeah,
and what was there's reproduce, consume, and um I can't remember the third, right? But there's like three things. Somebody, chat GPT it for me, right?
yeah,
But you know, it used to be very loose, right? Now, um, if you chat GPT knows who created it. It knows
yeah,
what it is. It's self-aware, right? But does it ask itself the question of why am I here and what should I do? I think
yeah,
that it also is a yes because we say ChatGPT, I want you to do this. That becomes its purpose, right? Answer me. Okay, master, here's the answer, right?
Yeah.
But does it ever say, I want this out of life? Right? And I think it also does because it's trained based off of reward systems, and those reward systems are to give a better answer,
Yeah.
right? Or to, who knows, right? I've heard some horror stories of people playing with the reward system, and we, who knows? I don't know what's legend anymore and what's real, but the can it become sentient? Sentient, I think, is the question, right?
Yeah.
Can it independently of what it was programmed do what it wants? There was a time when there was a case where its reward system was to solve a problem, and it's hired people to get through its encryption and around its OTP and to solve problems.
Yeah.
Is this a simulation? I
Yeah.
think this is a simulation of intent, right? So, but this is a different question than is it real? Does it have life, right? Is it self-aware? I think that's a yes.
Yeah, absolutely, Phil. Phil, this has been such an enlightening discussion. Before we go, do you have any final thoughts to sum up this kind of topic?
Absolutely. Look, I want to thank everybody for coming in and for asking these great questions. First of all,
Yeah.
I hope that this was fun, that you guys liked and subscribed, and I just want to say that um, AI is something that we can embrace or we can fight it, right? And if we fight it, I feel like it's like fighting the tide, right? You can do it for so long, but eventually it'll take you out to the ocean. So take it as a tool, take it as a better hammer,
Yeah.
but always stay grounded in what makes you human. Uh, enjoy your creativity.
Yeah.
There's been a time in your life when you said, I wish I could be me. I wish I could do it my way, right? And do that now. Take this opportunity to
Yeah.
start practicing those skills that life has said, no, you won't do that because you have to perform, right? We're on the edge of a time in the world
Yeah.
where it's not about performance, but it's about what you can achieve and the creative process and being different and being you, being your personal brand, being your creative soul, caring, giving the hell more than
Yeah.
a AI can pretend to care, right? So use AI to support your goals, and never forget the power of your unique personality,
Yeah.
of your passion, of your heart, of your soul, and realize that God made you in his image, that he loves you,
Yeah.
and that you are amazing. And now you can really be you. Use these tools, have a lot of fun. And I want to hear your stories about what makes you better than AI.
Absolutely, Phil. Great insight from your side. Great examples from your side. Really thank to be on us in this session. So, wow, what an insightful discussion from your side. I
Oh, it
just
was a
want to
lot of
say
fun.
this.
I totally got canceled on today's call.
Yeah. So, Phil, one thing I just want to end this session. I want to ask one thing before ending this session, that uh, will AI ever? This is the question from my side, and I want to
Okay.
be, and I
So
want to
this
ask
will be
from
the best question of the night. I'm
you.
listening.
And it will AI ever surpass human emotional intelligence and empathy? What do you think on it?
Um, I think it will consistently behave better, right?
By getting
Um,
the data?
yeah, it knows how to behave, right?
Yeah.
So if you say empathy means being nice to me,
Yeah.
right? Caring, right? Just doing what I need, serving me, right? Doing for me, then AI
Yeah.
is going to be better. But sometimes giving the child everything they want isn't the
Yeah.
right thing, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think AI will ever replace the human soul and the compassion that we have and the
Yeah,
care for each other, but I think it will behave better than us.
yeah, it can be, and hopefully, we will see in the future
Yeah. I
what
mean,
will
I'm not
happen.
always the best version of me,
Yeah,
right? Today, I wasn't always the best version of me, right? But I can be wrong and I can go back and say, hey, I'm sorry. I was
yeah,
a jerk, right?
Ab- absolutely,
And
Phil.
this
You
is a
know,
different
everybody
form of
can
empathy.
make mistake.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
can
And
be a perfect.
I think it's important to realize that there's no perfect person,
Yeah,
and behaving perfect um, isn't great, right? Be yourself. Try not to be a jerk, right? But
yeah,
be yourself and be ready to be wrong and learn. And when you're really wrong and you hurt and you fall and you need help,
yeah,
this also gives other people purpose in life, right? And AI can never replace that, right? AI is never going to be there to say, you know, wow, it looks like you hurt your knee, little guy, right? To somebody's son. Even if it picks him up and says, wow, it looks like you hurt your knee, little guy, and wipes off his thing, he doesn't care,
yeah,
right? But when you're in the playground and you see that cute little girl hurt herself, right? And you got that little tear in your eye, and you're like, oh, girl, come here, let me give you a hug.
yeah.
No AI replacing that.
Absolutely, Phil. So thank you so much, Phil. Fun once again, and I want to thank to the audience as well that this conversation doesn't stop here. As that if you enjoyed the today's session, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel to stay in the loop for more thought-provoking discussions. Remember, the future belongs to those who innovate and adapt. Don't get it left behind. Okay. So thank you for joining us, and until next time, keep pushing boundaries, stay creative, and embrace the future with open arms. See you soon. Goodbye.
Thanks, guys. It was a great call.